saw a very important part, which is that this Brahman, which is in form of what? That awareness or consciousness, which is available in your buddhi as self-evident I, which is distinct from your body, mind, sense complex. Right? It's not just some kind of an awareness which is this little thing dangling in the air. It is Jagat Karanam Iswara. Oh my God. That is a huge thing to understand. Okay? That awareness is something which is not personal to you. We already saw that. What did we see? That it has no boundaries. It has no dimensions. But actually, not only it has no boundaries and no dimensions, the entire Janma, Sthiti and Laya of the universe is from that awareness. Janmadhyasya yataha. Second Brahma Sutra. Okay. We saw how it is abhinna nimitta upadana karana. What does it mean? Any creation has two types of causes. What are the causes? One is the efficient cause and the second is the material cause. To create this cup, there is what? A cup maker and what? The material from which this cup is made. Right? So in this case, there are two separate things. Right? In case of the whole universe, are there two independent causes? One is the maker and the second is the material, which is other than the maker? No. Why?
The material is the maker also.
Excellent. Right? So therefore, the material, like yesterday we saw, that if you really begin to look at the universe, when you look at all these different laws that you have been studying in whatever university you went to, they are all what? One manifestation of that intelligence. Looking at intelligence which is pervading the whole universe from that standpoint as to how that intelligence organizes the planets. How that intelligence organizes the plant kingdom. How that intelligence organizes not only human bodies but all other bodies. How that intelligence organizes psychology. And the program of what? Human mind is very different from program of a cow's mind. We saw. Cow is able to what? Undertake simple perception and also inference. But a human mind can do so much more. That intelligence also organizes that. And within that human range, each human being is unique. There is no repetition. What mind-boggling intelligence. It's not ordinary. Even though we all operate within one range, each one's intelligence is different from the other. Okay. Now that intelligence we saw, the Vedic vision makes you see the presence of that intelligence way beyond that and makes you see the presence of that intelligence in form of what? Law of dharma and law of karma. Its manifestation. Law of dharma is not just mechanical law, it is manifestation of that intelligence, Ishvara. Law of karma is not a mechanical law. That's why you can't fool it. Because it is one of the manifestations of Ishvara. Then we saw also that everything that we have and what we are looking for itself is governed by laws. It's not random. You are looking for wealth. How much you will have, in what form, in what quantity is governed by laws. What laws, how do laws operate? Randomly? Laws means what? Cause and effect. It is a function of your effort and also what?
Intention.
Your effort, your intentions, and also what? Your past utilization of wealth. If you've abused it, then what? It's not going to come. If you've abused your power, if you've abused your wealth, if you've abused, at that time it seems what? Nothing. But the laws catch up. Right? So therefore, those laws which govern that, we give it a name and we call it Lakshmi, then intelligence, Saraswati, power, Durga. I want to, this morning, during meditation, that intelligence got 3 more names. What? Seeing that intelligence from one standpoint, we added 1 more name. I want to now see how alert you are when you are doing things. Shiva, excellent. It got another name called Shiva, excellent. What is this Shiva? The Shiva, this beautiful Rupa. That Shiva, initially it was what? Rudra. There is a constantly in this creation, every moment is what? New manifestation coming. Every second. A second which was not there 1 second ago is manifest now. The second, by the time I finish the sentence, that second has gone. That power of destruction is what? Shiva. Constantly that intelligence is what? Destroying what? The forms which were there disappear. The cells which were there in your body disappear. The moment that was there, that time, gone. That Rudra is the power of destruction in the universe. Now, that power of destruction in the universe, generally, what is our attitude towards that?
Negative.
You feel scared of that because destruction seems like scary thing. But that power, can you run away from? You can't. So, there is this whole prayer, as Rupa says, it converts, it uses that power, instead of being scared of it, saying, remove what? If you are the destroyer, destroy my ignorance, destroy my fears, destroy my confusion, and make me what? See something which what my normal 2 eyes cannot see. The very power, what you are invoking, the grace of that power to what? Instead of being afraid of that power of destruction, you are helping yourself and asking it to destroy all the things that you don't want and make you see something which is already there. Like Surya's yesterday's story about a man wanting to reach home. What? he's already home. The very pursuit of wanting to reach home denies what? That he is home. Okay? The destruction of ignorance which creates a distance between I and the limitless. So that power of destruction which is there in the universe, you are asking that power to do what? Destroy your ignorance so that distance which is created between you and the limitless is gone. Evoke that power. Okay, so that is Shiva. What are the other two things we saw in morning meditation? Shiva, we saw one. What is the other thing? Brahma. Who said? Meera. Perfect. In this creation, which is intelligence, there is not only destruction, but what? Every second, new things come into manifestation. Forms emerge. Cells emerge. New moments arise. What? New thoughts arise. What is it which makes it all possible? That is that intelligence which also has what? The power to what? Constantly create. What is the name that we give? Brahma. All knowledge and all power is not something just, oh, all knowledge, all knowledge. It's all there, you have to see it. That is that intelligence seen from the standpoint of its power to create every moment is Brahma.
Neema, I was, in my mind, I would have said Iswara, but that's not true then.
Iswara is what we give a name, Sarvatnaha Sarvashaktiman. Isha is all knowledge and all power. Now, all knowledge and all power means what? That all knowledge and all power, seen from different standpoints, we give what? Specific names, so that what? That understanding of all knowledge and all power becomes more concrete. And you can relate to that all knowledge and all power. Otherwise, how will you relate? All knowledge, all power, what? It just remains a vague concept. So these are all different manifestations of Ishvara. So therefore, and within, and what is the third thing that you saw in morning meditation? Vishnu. Within that constant creation and destruction, there is a seeming what? Sustenance. If your eyes were programmed in a way that you were aware of all the small changes and destructions which were going on at every second, you will not be able to relate to the world. In order to relate to the world, there has to be what? A seeming stability while all those changes are going on. What provides that seeming stability? What? Towards constant change. You know that where we are now, the whole earth is moving at a very fast pace. All the planets are moving. Now imagine constantly you felt that you were moving. This is a reality. But you have what? The feeling of you are here at one place. Nothing. Because everything else moves, so therefore what happens? It all seems stable. The relative distances remain the same. So that power, which, what? That intelligence, which has the power to, while things are under constant flux, give it a stability is what? Vishnu. Okay, so therefore, if anybody says that Hindu or Vedic Vedic view of life has many gods, is it true?
Yes and no.
It is all that is here is Iswara. Where is many? One. It's oneness.
Are there different names for the one?
Excellent. Different names for understanding the presence of intelligence which is all around you, but you miss it where? In your understanding. Way before you came to Vedanta class, there was this intelligence which was giving rise to manifestation of that moment. There was that presence of intelligence which was letting that moment disappear. There was that intelligence which made it all appear as stable. There was that intelligence which was governing how much wealth you have, how much intelligence you have, how much, powers you have. There was that intelligence who had set up the universe in which you find yourself. There was that intelligence which had already made your body what it is. But in your understanding, where was that presence of that intelligence? It was figuring nowhere. What is the teaching of Vedanta doing? Is it producing that intelligence? No. What is it doing? Removing your ignorance and making you see, oh my God, all these things which were there and I was totally blind to. When you are blind to realities, what is going to be the quality of your life? What is there and you don't see it. And not only you don't see it, but you create a totally different understanding of what is, which is based on what? Your ignorance. And you live in this world from your creation. You're not in touch with what is. If you are not in touch with what is, then what? According to Brahma Sutra, that is the cause of suffering. Okay, Isha. Then we saw not only that intelligence is in form of all these different laws, it is also in form of what?
Objects.
The objects which are subject to those laws. Wonderful, Raj. Why? Because you study any object, what is it? It is forms within forms within forms within forms. The whole thing is arranged by what? One intelligence which decides that with increasing what?
The number of particles, atoms.
But every time with an arrangement, right, there is a new attribute which what gets added. Particles combine and make an atom which has what? More attributes than each particle. Atoms combine and make objects which have more attributes than what? The atoms. That is the intelligence. That intelligence is present all the way. It is in form of what? The laws and also the objects. The basis of everything. Isha. Okay. What is this Isha? What is the what? Brahman, which is the awareness, with reference to creation, it has become what?
Ishvara.
Ishvara. Excellent. Just like you, with reference to the dream world, you become what? The creator of the dream world. But when the creation is not there, are you the creator of dream world? Only as a potential. You are just the awareness. You are the awareness which has the potential to create what? The dream world. And when the dream world is there, you become what? The creator of that dream world. Please understand that. The awareness is just awareness with reference to its capacity to manifest what? Time, space and objects. You call it what? Iswara. Right? And it becomes, and in order for it to create, what does it need? Knowledge and power. Sarvagnaha Sarvashaktiman Ishvara. What is the truth of that Sarvagna Sarvashaktiman Ishvara? Excellent. Wonderful, Raj. Right? The truth of that is, because this is an incidental attribute with reference to its capacity to create. Right? So therefore, now, now about this Ishvara, it seems as though everything is pretty much understood, but one question remains, which was the question of Avani yesterday and question of Rajan, which he asked me. And that is, she asked about the time that Vedic how does the Vedic vision see the time? Is it linear or it is cyclical? That was her question. So, the answer to that question is that the Vedic vision of time is cyclical. And what do we mean by that? Okay? So, what we mean by that is that this awareness, which is intrinsically what? Just awareness, it has the potential to manifest as time, space and object, which is what we call what? Creation. Right? Now within creation, what do you see? Things coming into play, coming into form, take form, then sustenance and then destruction. Then what the Veda says is that even the entire manifestation which is there becomes what? Unmanifest. And then what? It becomes manifest again. So that means time, space and objects become manifest, like your dream world starts. Then what? When you wake up, it becomes unmanifest. Then next night you go to sleep, what happens? Dream, time, space, object again get manifested and then unmanifest. So therefore, what? There is what we call cyclical nature. Time, space, object framework comes into manifestation, resolves. It's what we call pralaya. Then again it manifests. Again what? Creation. So therefore there are cycles of creation where what? Time, space and objects come into manifestation.
Pralaya means destruction.
Sorry?
Pralaya means
Pralaya means the time, time, object and the time, space and object, it just resolves, right? And one experience, experientially we are given that experience, experientially. What is that experience?
Birth and death.
No. in deep sleep, in your awareness, what happens? Otherwise you will not even be able to conceive what it is. Right? Every object that you saw in the waking is what?
Dissolved.
Resolved. Your understanding of time as it is in the waking, is it there? No. Your understanding of space as it is in the waking, is it there? No. That is your personal little resolution in terms of your experience every night. Here it is talking about what? The entire Jagat, which is what? Time, space, and every object within time and space resolves. When it resolves, what remains? Awareness. Awareness remains with its potential to create another cycle. This is what we call cyclical nature of creation. So therefore, now to answer Avni's question, right? So when we talk about Big Bang, which is what, how many billions years ago scientists calculate?
14, 15.
15
Yes.
billion years ago was this Big Bang. So now, and then from then, what? Time is moving how? Forward. Right? So there is a kind of a linear movement of time. Okay? So now, what Vedic vision is that this point, which is a Big Bang, is only what? With reference to one cycle of manifestation. Then there are multiple cycles of manifestation. That's why anything you can't trace back linearly.
Which means that there's so many galaxies, they weren't manifested at the same time.
The Big Bang means everything manifested. But before everything manifested, what was there? Times, everything manifests within time and space framework. This is called the universe. Right? Before time, space and every object which is known to you and unknown to you, it manifested, what was there? Awareness with its potential to manifest. When it comes into manifestation, what comes into manifestation? Time, space, and all these different objects with their capacity to interact with each other.
In every cycle the same is happening, or maybe in the next cycle human beings may be different.
Yeah, different cycles obviously have different kinds of things because we are all moving, right? Universe is an unfinished work because the way you choose your actions today, your today's actions are not yet performed. The way you choose to perform your actions today is going to bring what? The result either tomorrow or next moment or 5 years from now. So you are constantly shaping the universe. You are a participant in the universe. You are not just a mere observer. You are not a robot.
One question and a point. The question is that is deep sleep a state of mind even when you are awake?
No, because what we are saying is here we are not trying to create a physical resolution. Please understand, right? I'm not trying to, through Veda, I'm not trying to physically collapse every individual, physically collapse my mind, physically collapse. Through inquiry, I come to know that all that is here, everything, when I look into the reality of it, resolves in awareness. I'm not physically trying to collapse things.
Second, a small observation. When we speak of Big Bang theory, we do not talk of linear dimension, Neema. We talk of a 3 dimension.
Three
Where
dimension.
time, space and object might come in.
Yes.
And theory of relativity was one part of it where it said that in a galaxy, it is going to be different than it might happen on planet Earth. So here we might look at it in a linear fashion, but when we see holistically,
Yeah.
it would be a three-dimensional and more than one dimension.
Yeah, that is true. But normal, you're right. But in normal understanding, it is what we think that
Same
it is.
type of linear.
Yeah, it's linear. So because her question was linear versus cyclical. So I just wanted to make her see that the Vedic vision, because anyway, whether it is, three dimension or one dimension, it starts with Big Bang. For us, there have been what? Multiple Big Bangs before. That's the point.
I understand awareness has a potential to manifest.
Yes.
But how exactly is the relation between Brahman and Iswara? Because Brahman is not acting, is all what it is. How it comes to this process becoming Iswara?
Yeah, so how, please explain to me how you became the dream creator. What is the process? Tell me.
I don't know.
You don't know. But it
That's the
becomes.
reason I'm asking.
So therefore, there is this capacity, right, which is a potential, and that potential is called, there is a technical word in our Shastra for it, and it is called Maya. The potential is Maya. Okay. Now with that potential, when it actually comes into manifestation, it becomes what? Ishvara. Excellent.
Maya is also known as an illusion.
No, but please don't bring all the other, because the traditional Vedanta does not define Maya as illusion. It defines Maya as potential. Potential to project the universe. Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa Shakti is power to manifest. But within that manifestation, right, there is what we call, when the manifestation happens, right, every object within that manifestation, do they know that all that is here is one? No. They act as though what? Everything is separate, everything is individual, I am isolated from everything else, I have no understanding. The whole thing is working within what? One awareness which has the power to manifest the whole universe, which is called what? Iswara. So that means there is, in that Maya, not only there is this projecting capacity, there is also capacity to cover. This is what we call Avarana Shakti. Like when you have created the dream, while the dream is going on, the character that you identify with in the dream, does it know everything is only one? No. While the dream is going on, that character relates to other character as what? Separate. And through that interaction gets what? Some feedback which creates what? Emotions. So that means there is Avarana Shakti. The whole thing about the universe is given to you, otherwise it would be unfathomable. The whole thing is given to you in terms of what? Your little experiences. So the Vedas use your experiences to make you see, oh my God, how it is possible. Carl, what is the question?
It's still the same question. Brahman and Maya. I understand this is a potential, and I understand the analogy with a dream. But still, there is a question how it comes. When if there is only Brahman, then the potential gets in action.
So that's exactly. So it has come into manifestation, right? And what is the reality? while it has come into manifestation, what it is, actually what is there?
Brahman.
Only intelligence and Brahman. And that is what you need to figure out. That is the teaching. Because this manifestation fools you.
I don't think you have answered to why the creation was.
So why? This is the nature of Iswara. This is how it is. Right now, when you go and when you go to physics class and then they teach you laws of gravity, you don't say, but why did this law of gravity happen? They are there.
But you are interested in why the law of gravity is at the moment. You recognize that it is there, but your interest is also to understand why this law is
So this is the power. This is the power. Awareness has the potential, and with that potential it manifests. This is the reality. And within this manifestation, what everybody doesn't know, that all that is here is one. And the capacity to know it is also given. So you use that capacity to what? Figure out. It's like jigsaw puzzle. You are born in this world and you don't know from where you came, what you are here for, where you have to go. You have no idea. And little activities that you do thinking that is great activity is what? Insignificant in the total scheme of things. They are not totally insignificant, because through those activities, what happens? You keep the whole creation going because you participate. And you what? Give form. Now, 5 years from now, what the universe is going to be what? Function of some action that you have done, whether you recognize it or not. Either you can add your confusion to the world, or you can add what? Your wisdom. But within this also is given what? The possibility to figure out the whole thing. What is the whole thing? All that is here is one. Advaita. Within all this multiplicity that I see, all these different forms that I see time, I see space, I see what? All the objects, I see all the laws. And I am what? Afraid, because my capacity to manipulate all this is what? Just nothing, minuscule. Then I can figure out the whole thing is play of what? One, awareness, which itself is what? Is it changing while everything is happening? No, it is unchanging awareness, which has the potential to manifest in form of time and space, and within that manifestation is what? Are the objects. And one of the objects is what? This body and mind.
So we understand the concepts and we give the names, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. But where is it necessary to worship them?
Because, you know what? Every cell that can come, either it can follow the order or what? It can go out of the order. And how do you want it to be in order? As I told you, the destruction capacity which is there, if what you need to use it for what? Because you have fear. Because you have fear of mortality, because everyone is born with ignorance. You need to evoke that destruction capacity to remove your ignorance.
But most of the worshipping is done in ignorance.
But therefore, that ignorance, you have to begin to see what, as I said, all that is here is Iswara, and you have what? No, not you, anybody has no understanding of that presence. So you have to, getting well or getting closer to the truth requires you to recognize that. You need to bring it in your buddhi. The presence of Ishvara you need to bring in your buddhi. Then the buddhi is what? In touch with what is. Because Ishvara, if it is all that is here, and you live, as I told you, as though you are an isolated being, then that will create what? Fear. It will create sadness. You can't get out of it. It's part of getting well. Part of getting well is knowing realities and relating to those realities.
So worshipping is manifesting the right vibration so that you are in alignment.
That means what is there, your buddhi was oblivious to it. Now you're recognizing what is there and you're aligning your existence with what is.
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore this is Vedic vision of Ishvara. Cycles after cycles after cycles. It's endless. So therefore, physically, what happens? If you stay within ignorance, you are what? Going to take forms, what? Cycles after cycles after cycles.
Within the
The,
cycle. Within the cycle.
within the cycle. You are within the cycle. But if you come to know in one given lifetime the reality, and what is that? You are that awareness which, what? Without undergoing any change, what happens? Has the potential to manifest the universe which is constantly changing. Like in your dream, while the mountains are being created, while the rivers in your dream are created, while the characters are created, does the awareness become the mountains and the rivers and the characters? No. It just remains awareness. But it has a what? A capacity to project. So therefore, one, if you really understand Vedanta, then the question why this manifestation came will disappear. Why? Because show me, somebody will say, show me where exactly is what? Has awareness ever undergone any change? No. Nirvikalpaha nirvikara. Her song yesterday. Nirvikalpoha. Nirvikaroha. I'm not this little individual. I am that awareness which has never undergone any change. Where is the creation? Right? It is as though. Mithya creation. Dependent reality.
So you cannot ask the question, why is there mithya creation either?
No, you can't ask because it's there. It's there and it's not there.
This whole thing is with
This
their
is
creation.
absolutely.
But it is also true that at the very start we said that it's the reality, we are also the body, we are also the mind from the awareness perspective.
Absolutely. So that means, wonderful, right? The awareness, what is the relationship? There are no two things.
Correct, it is one.
Right?
Yes.
It is only one. What is the relationship? One is independent reality and the other one is a dependent reality. You have many names, many forms, true,
But it's finally one.
but finally it's one. This is Advaita. You don't need to collapse. When will you collapse the universe to understand oneness? You have to collapse time. You have to collapse every object. Go and start collapsing objects. If your understanding of oneness required for you to collapse the world, when will you collapse it? You never can. You can only understand that what within this seeming differences, what there is oneness, and that one thing has never undergone a change. This is the reality. This is how things are. And your buddhi has to capture this reality as it is. All the questions will automatically resolve. Okay? So this is the Vedic vision of what? Brahman and Ishvara. Now, in the next class, or even now in this class, do we have time? Yeah, we have 5-10 minutes. Okay? Now, there are people who are looking and listening to us, but they are not agreeing with us. So there starts agreeing with us. So there starts all the Purva Pakshas, who have a different vision of the world and the cause of the universe. Right? So before we go, I think it is good to I will go through the Bhasyam which I haven't done. Actually, we've seen all this, but I just want to, know that where it is all coming from. So I'm just going to read some of the Bhasyam.
What page? 11?
11. Perfect. Last paragraph. Perfect. Good. You people are alert as to what is happening. Half the time people have no idea where in the text they are. Lovely. Good. Shows alert mind. Okay. Janmadhyasya yataha and Adi Shankaracharya's Bhasyam. Janma utpatti adi asya iti tadguna samvignanaha bahuvrihi. So this is a technical grammatical point that janmadi, okay, janma, etc. So what? Janma, then sthiti, sustenance, and what? Resolution. So now, what is the subject matter here? Is the subject matter birth, sustenance, and death? No. What is the subject matter? Brahman is, right? So what do you want to indicate? Brahman. So this particular way of expression as a compound, it's a technical, you need to know Sanskrit grammar, is called Bahuvrihi compound. Okay? So, just I'll try to give you one example. I don't know if you will understand or not. If you don't understand, forget it, because you need to know Sanskrit grammar to understand this one. If I say Shruddha, Shruddha Veda. Shruddha, the literal meaning of Shruddha is what? Heard. And Veda is Veda. Okay? Now, in this compound, what I want to indicate? The person, please understand, right? Person who has listened to Veda, right? So, but in the compound, do any of the two words indicate the person? No. So, you need to, what Bahuvrihi is Anya Pada Pradhana. Anya Pada Pradhana is both the words, what Shruta is heard and Veda is the Veda, don't indicate what? the person. But I have to use those two words to know what the person who has heard the Veda. So I'm bringing what? A third word which is not there in these words, right? To understand the meaning of this compound. All brilliant language. I mean, this whole heritage is outstanding. All this is analyzed. Okay, Bahuvrihi compound. So therefore, Janma, what? Sthiti and destruction are the three words. But what is it that you want to convey? Brahman. That's it. So that is what you have to bring in. It's not there. Right? So this is why it is Anya Pada Pradhana. It's indicating something which is not part of those three words. Okay? So therefore, that Brahman is from where what? The birth, the sustenance and destruction of the world comes. Right? Now, this other person asked the question, this Adipada is etc. How did you bring in, what is written is only Janma. How did you bring in sustenance and destruction? Well, Adi can be anything. Etc. could be anything. This is how the analysis moves. Right? So then, he quotes Shruti. He quotes Upanishad by saying that I am not just creating this meaning, it is written in the Upanishads. And what does he quote? Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yasmin abhipravishanti iti. He says, I am not creating my own story about what this Adipada means. Taittiriya Upanishad very explicitly shows Brahman as that from which everything has come, by which everything is sustained, and unto which everything goes. So, he substantiates it with what? Upanishad. Then he says, even logically if you see, what else, think about something else which can go with Janma, etc. Can you find any other match? No. Everything that is said is questioned. Right? He says now, forget about Shruti. You think, you use your brain and figure out what this etc. could mean. Is there any other logical answer you find other than this? The meaning of etc. Janma, etc. Birth, etc. Everybody is looking totally lost. It's just simple logic, right? People are questioning you what the statements you are making. How did you understand that this Janma, etc. is birth, sustenance and destruction? People are asking you.
So the counter answer is, tell me what else.
Our first answer is quoting the Shruti, which explicitly says that Yatova imani bhutani jayante. Taittiriya Upanishad. Yena jatani jivanti. Yasmin abhipravishanti. Okay? The Shruti says Brahman is from where what? Everything is born, everything is sustained, and unto which everything is gone. So what we are saying is this etc. I got not just from my own head, I got it from Taittiriya Upanishad. Then we are asking them, if you don't want to believe, then somebody will say, why should we believe Taittiriya Upanishad? Then you say, okay, then you find another etc. meaning. You tell me what that etc. meaning could be logically when you don't find anything else. What else? Logically, what these three go together. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes? Okay. Now, then, here he says, so what is this Brahman? Here he says, from where everything comes. So everything here is explained in the next Bhasyam. Asya jagataha nama rupabhyam vyakrutasya aneka kartu bhoktru sanyuktasya prati niyata desha kala nimitta kriya phala ashrayasya manasa api achintya rachana rupasya janma sthiti bhangaha yataha sarvajnat sarvashaktehe karanat bhavati tat brahma iti vakya shesha. Here he says, what is his jagat? He explains what the whole jagat is. Here he says, it is nama rupabhyam vyakrutasya. By jagat, what we mean is all these different names and forms that you see. All these different names and forms that you see are consisting of what? Aneka kartu bhoktrutva. Each one, right, all these forms take oneself to be what? Individual who wants to enjoy in the world, and for that enjoyment, what do?
Transact.
They transact. Right? So therefore, there are bhoktas, there is an enjoyer, and for that enjoyment, there are doers. And how many doers? Countless doers. Even the lion is a doer. What is he doing? The lioness is a bigger doer. Because I have been to Masai Mara and it's beautiful to see that. Okay? They take you because everybody who goes to Masai Mara all the way to Kenya to see all these beautiful safari, they all want to see what? Games. So these people who are driving you in the jeeps, they know where to take you because otherwise you'll be so disappointed, right? If you don't see the lions and everything. So they take you to a water body early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, where all these deers come to drink the water. And while they are drinking the water, these deers, nobody has taught them anything. They are drinking the water and they are looking like this. What are they looking at?
If the lion comes,
They know that somebody may come to take us. So they are constantly looking and then they are peacefully drinking water. Then imagine one day, which is, lions never come, lioness comes. Lioness comes and many of them what? Just run away. But one gets caught. It's really sad. And that person has lost, that deer has lost one's life. Now, the lioness, you think starts eating that deer? Takes it back. Takes it back where? To the lion. Who eats that deer first? This is how it is. Who eats the deer first? Lion gets to eat it first. Nobody has taught them anything. This is how it is. So those jeep people, after taking you there, they will also take you where the lion is, so you can see the whole thing. Lion, after he finishes eating, who gets to eat next?
Cups.
The cubs. They eat. After they eat, then last, who gets to eat? Lion. This is how it is. Right? Kartutva, bhoktutva. Not only you and me have that doership and enjoyship, they also have. Who has designed it? Right? So therefore, this manifestation has countless doers and countless enjoyers. An eagle who's flying so high, where is it looking? Down below to what? Get the prey. Aneka kartutva bhoktutva. Not only you and me, it includes what? Every species. The birds, the animals, the humans, of the past, of the present, and of the future for cycles of creation. Right? So therefore, kartutva, bhoktutva, sanyuktasya, all these enjoyment and doership happens within what? Niyata, desha, kala. It all happens within what? Time and space. So that means when this Brahman manifests the universe, what all does it manifest? It manifests time and space. It manifests objects. All the living objects have what? Kartutvam and bhoktutvam. Right? And then, when they do things, then they get what? Phala ashrayasya. Depending upon what they do, they get what? Their result. Manasa api achintya rachana rupasya. If you really look at this arrangement and if you understand the complexity of this arrangement, can anybody fathom the all knowledge which is required to create this whole setup? It is unfathomable. Even one given thing we don't understand completely. The intelligence, sarvajnatvam, is not an ordinary thing. Don't think yours is a little mind and sarvajna is some little bigger mind. It is unfathomable. It programs human mind, it programs animal mind, it programs what? Bird mind, it programs aquatic creatures' mind, insect mind. Sarvajna, unfathomable. Okay, so therefore it is manasa api achintya mana. You can never understand what the total details of this creation ever with the buddhi that is given to you. That's why you are not what? Sarvajnaha sarvashaktiman. You are not. Right? So then, janma sthiti bhangaha. And all this is happening within what? A constant flux. Which is what? Things are coming, things are going, and there is what? A seeming sustenance and seeming stability. In order for the whole thing to be set up, what do you need? Sarvajnaha and Sarvashakti. Without which it's not possible. All knowledge and all power. Okay? Karanam bhavati tat brahma iti vakyashesha. this whole Jagat has come from this Brahman, which has the potential to manifest this Jagat. Okay? Here, Nacha Yatha Ukta. Can I go on or should I finish? Okay, just 2 minutes I will go on, because then the next para comes with all the people who are not agreeing with this. Okay? Nacha yatha ukta visheshasya jagataha yatha ukta visheshanam ishwaram uktva anyataha. Okay, here already the opponents have come. Pradhanat acetanat anubhyaha va abhavat va samsarina va utpatyadi sambhavayitum shakyam nacha svabhavataha vishishta deshakala nimittanam upadana etat anumanam samsara vyatirikte ishvara astitvadi sadhana manyate ishvara karana vadina. Okay, so now this Ishvara being the whole, it gets a name, right? That Brahman, why does it get a name? Brahman, which is awareness, why does it get the name Ishvara? Because of the manifestation. Excellent. And with reference to that manifestation, it has what? Two kinds of things. It has knowledge and power to create this whole setup. Right? Now, that this is our explanation. Janmatyasya yataha. This Brahman is what? The cause of the coming into coming of the universe, every birth, sustenance and destruction, which happens within the universe. Time, space and objects. Right? Now, there are other philosophers who are not agreeing with us. So who are they, and what they are saying is part of the next discussion. We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.